Hey guys, it's Chris at Highline Guitars, and it's time for a Luthier's Quick Tip. If you like building or repairing guitars, join the club by tapping the subscribe button down below, and together we can take your luthier skills to a whole new level. In today's Luthier's Quick Tip, I'm going to continue with my homespun advice on how to run your own small shop luthier business. And to that end, today's quick tip is stay in your own lane. Focus on making your luthier processes as efficient and cost effective as possible. To do this, you're going to want to resist the temptation as a luthier to accept every request that comes in, especially if those requests might be a little bit outside of your wheelhouse. A good example of this is Warmoth custom guitar and bass parts. Now, they're a company that specializes in making necks and bodies for both guitars and basses. They do not, however, make complete finished instruments. And the reason they don't make finished instruments is because their business is focused on making the parts, the necks and bodies, for their customers to assemble themselves. Now, they could make their own finished instruments, and it would seem like that's not going to be much of a stretch for them to do. However, in the modern era of business, in order for them to do that and to make a profit, they would have to restructure their business, and that would require a fairly significant investment of capital as well as resources, which would add more layers of complexity to their business. And that's just not something they want to do right now. So think of it as, if the business model ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, there are a lot of other examples like Warmoth that are out there. However, what we can learn from them is that you have to focus your business on specifically what your skills are and what your business model and processes have been structured to do. If you veer outside of that, you run the risk of taking a fairly significant hit to your profit margin. And in the modern era, if you lose money on a project, it's going to cause your business to suffer and possibly even fail. Now, let me try to explain this a little bit more clearly by using my own company, Highline Guitars, as an example. I build custom guitars, complete from scratch. I don't make parts and I don't do repairs. I don't make replacement necks. I don't make replacement bodies. And as I said, I don't do repairs, nor do I fix other people's mistakes. This is the focus of my business. It's all I do. Unfortunately, every week I seem to get multiple requests from potential customers asking me to do the sort of work that I just don't do. And I have to turn these requests down because if I attempted to do them, there's a good chance I'm going to lose money on the project. So I have to tell them, sorry, I don't make parts or I don't do repairs. I only make complete guitars. Now, if someone were to ask me if I could make for them a Stratocaster knockoff replacement neck, as an example, sure, I could do that. However, because my business isn't structured to do it, I'm not as efficient at making a replacement neck as a company like Warmoth or the multitude of other companies out there that sell their replacement necks on Amazon and eBay. As a result, what I would charge would be significantly higher than what any of those businesses sell their replacement necks for, simply because I have to make a profit. I've got to make some money somehow on that project. And since I'm not efficient at it, I'm going to have to elevate my price in order to realize a profit. If I tried to accept that project and lower my price down to what some company on Amazon or eBay is selling their replacement necks for, I would lose money in the deal. In fact, I probably wouldn't even make enough to cover the cost of the materials. So I can't accept that project. However, if I really wanted to make replacement necks, I could simply restructure my business and make the processes as efficient as possible in order to be competitive at selling replacement necks. It wouldn't be that difficult to do. However, that's not what I want to do. That's not why I entered this business. As a result, I decline those projects. I'm just not going to make money doing it. And instead, I focus on what it is that I enjoy doing, and that is to make complete custom guitars from scratch. And of course, besides Highline Guitars, there's a lot of other examples out there of companies that are very focused on what it is they do. But there are also a lot of companies which have lost focus. For example, both GM and Ford over the last probably 10 years began to lose focus on their core businesses, and they had expanded out into a number of other areas that aren't necessarily what their key focus should be or is supposed to be or was in the beginning. And in fact, I remember hearing GM described as a healthcare plan that builds cars on the side. They also got really heavy into financing and things and trying to bring all that in-house, and it just became so cumbersome that it was difficult to manage, and it affected their ability to turn profit. So what both GM and Ford did over the last 10 years is they have refocused their businesses. They have sold off assets, they've closed divisions, they've reduced the number of models they offer, reduced the number of options, and they've tightened the business down to make them much more competitive. They've made their businesses really focused. And that's what you have to do, even as just a small shop luthier. You don't want to be accepting projects that are outside of what you normally do. If you've developed a process for building or repairing guitars that's highly refined and cost effective, anytime you accept something that's not normally what you do, it's going to take you a little bit longer, and it's probably going to cost a little bit more money. And if you try to charge what some other luthier who is more efficient and faster at doing a particular type of job, such as like a fret job, you're going to lose money in comparison, and because you're spending so much more time than that person, and that time is money. So you can see how if you're taking 2 days to do a fret job, whereas another luthier somewhere else in the country only takes 4 hours to do it, he's going to make more of a profit, even if you're charging the same amount, than you will, because you're losing time that could be spent doing other things. That's part of the efficiency process. So that's this week's quick tip. Stay in your lane. Stay focused on what it is you do, and resist that temptation to become the do-all, be-all luthier. And you'll be much happier if you do. And in future episodes, I'm going to be looking at, in a little bit more detail, pricing. So we'll get to that soon. For now, take care, and we'll see you soon.